Just when can one of these playoff races not end in such chaoticness to where it's just Russian roulette to the end of it? We have a lot to talk about after the Charlotte ROVAL. Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 48 back again. Back to another episode of NRR. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2022 Bank of America ROVAL 400 from the Charlotte ROVAL. And what a race it was. Christopher Bell gets his third career win in here today and advances on to the round of 8. We have a shocking playoff driver who gets eliminated after this round. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. This race was we'll talk about that when I rate it, but first of all, we're going to review our top 10 finishers, then we're going to rate the race, then biggest story of the race. We did have the chaoticness, so we'll talk about it throughout the video, so I'm not going to have the biggest story upon there. And besides, I didn't watch the full ending of the race, like the full final stage. I just watched like the highlights, so I'm not going to do a full, story on that. But then after we rate the race, we'll take a look at our drivers of the day and end it off looking at the playoff standings, because now it is officially the round of 8. So we'll see how things look up heading into Las Vegas next week. So let's go ahead and dive on into this video. Finishing first was Christopher Bell. What a win for Christopher Bell and the number 20 team to advance into the round of 8. Was in a must-win situation coming into this one, because at one point Christopher Bell was minus 30 below the cut line early in the race, so he definitely had to win, and he was able to get the job done. So congrats to him and the number 20 team. Heck, he was eliminated in the round of 12 last year, but not this year. He's on to the next round, gets his second win of 2022, his third win overall in his Cup Series career, second win on a road course, and he also becomes the second ever driver to win on both ROVAL road courses. Chase Elliott won at the Daytona ROVAL and the well, we do have the Indy road course, but I'm not going to count that yet. But Chase Elliott won on the Daytona road course and the Charlotte road course. Same thing happened today with Christopher Bell winning the Daytona road course in 2020. Won and now winning it here today. So really good for him and the number 20 team. They advance into the round of 8. I'm pretty sure Bell was like minus 30 below the cut line coming into this race. So really good for him, because he was definitely in a must-win situation. So good for Christopher Bell and the number 20 team. Toyota, it's just been a really big struggle bus for them on the road courses all season long. And to finally see him, or Christopher Bell, or Toyota driver overall, just to get a win, and to see some other top Toyota performers like Kyle Busch got a top 5 finish, and even Bubba Wallace gets a top 10. I'm pretty sure this is his best finish on a road course, and he had an issue earlier in this race. But really good for Bell and number 20 team. It really came down to them taking tires. It was a big risk right there, because there were like 11 cars on old tires, but he made a lot of passes, and within one lap, or not even a lap, almost half a lap, he was able to move all the way up to 4th place when they were headed on to the big oval of the Charlotte ROVAL. So really good for him, and he had another caution come his way and was able to get the win and steal the lead away from Kevin Harvick. So really good job for Christopher Bell and the number 20 team. We'll see how the next round will go for them. Now that we're going back to mile-and-a-half racetracks at Homestead and at Vegas, I think that will fit pretty well for Bell and his number 20 team. Finishing P2 was Kevin Harvick. Another really solid day for Kevin Harvick and the number 14 getting a nice top 5 finish here. Harvick wasn't really a driver to talk about all day, but late in this race he was definitely one of the top competitors, and he had the lead at one point, took it away from Tyler Reddick, and then once Christopher Bell was on his way to catch Harvick and Tyler Reddick, I thought Harvick was going to steal it away, because I don't think Bell would have had enough time to catch him, but we wouldn't know because the caution came out, and that really killed Kevin Harvick. And since Bell was on the fresher tires easily throughout the inner portion of the ROVAL, he was able to take the lead away from him after that final overtime restart. So does suck a little bit for Kevin Harvick trying to get his third win of the season, but overall they had a really good car. Just the last caution right there just killed them in the end. Finishing third was Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch finally has the top 5, top 10, top 20, top 25 at the Charlotte ROVAL. Coming into this race, man's best finish at the ROVAL was 30th. ever since from 2018 to 2021, Kyle Busch has struggled on this track. Struggled. But he finally was able to get his first top 5, top 10, top 20, top 25, whatever you call it, here today. Really good for him. It was definitely a good day for them in his Toyota Camry. It just really came down to that last pit stop, and they took advantage of the new tires and came up with the 3rd place finish. So really good for Kyle Busch and the 18 team. We'll see how they'll do at Vegas next week, because they were really close to winning that race not a year ago, but earlier this year. But then Alex Bowman and Kyle Larson came out of the way and took it away from them. So can Kyle Busch get revenge? We'll have to wait and see. Finishing in 4th was AJ Allmendinger. Kind of a bummer, in my opinion, for AJ Allmendinger. He was out in front for most of this race. Definitely one of the dominant cars of the day. Took advantage of that pit road strategy, coming in a few laps before the end of the stage, so he could be out front to the end of this race, because it was really hard to pass out here, and that's why some fans did not really like the racing that they saw today. But we'll get into that later. But AJ Allmendinger, it's a bit disappointing in my opinion, but you got to feel happy for them. They were really fast. They just needed to work a little bit on pit road, because I'm pretty sure they lost a little bit of track position throughout the race because of their pit road incidents. But it was still a really good race for them and the number 16 team. Really good to see Kaulig Racing really take a step forward. And remember, guys, this guy is 4 in a row at the ROVAL in the Xfinity Series, and he's going to be running full-time Cup next year. This guy is a threat to be reckoned with. Just watch out. And rounding out the top 5 and 5th was Justin Haley. Really good run for Justin Haley in the number 31 team. Really cool to be seeing a young driver like him up here and get a good finish. But it's not like Haley just came out of nowhere and surprised us with a nice solid finish. He ran very well all day long. He was top 5, top 10, top 15 most of the day, and ends up getting a top 5. Guys, Kaulig Racing, they are currently on the rise. Watch out for both of them, because both of them at one point throughout the race were running in the top 3 in about stage 2. So really good to see both of these cars run very well. So this could be another good track for Justin Haley in the near future. So it could be a track that he could potentially compete for a win next year. But you got to think he also has to go against AJ Allmendinger, his teammate, full-time next year. But a really good run for Justin Haley. That's now 2 top 5s in the last 3 races for him. Really good momentum for the number 31 team. Finishing in 6th was Chris Buescher. A nice solid run for Chris Buescher in the number 17 team. I really want to talk about him because he has now finished in the top 10 in 5 of the 6 road course races this year. The only road course race where he finished outside the top 10 was COTA, where he finished 21st. So I'm just saying right now, watch out for Chris Buescher next year on the road courses. He's definitely going to be stronger, come back stronger, better than ever, and compete for a win and possibly get a win at one of these road courses, because damn, he is just near perfect, just nearly there, just not enough. But a nice solid finish for him in RFK. Finishing in 7th was my boy, Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace, I'm pretty sure this is his best career finish on a road course, so really proud for him. And also really good comeback for him as well, because if you go back to earlier in this race on lap 7, I believe, he's nearly spun out and kind of flat spotted his tires. And good thing that they did come into the pits, because you could see the tire scrub off his wheel or off the tire that he had to come in. So really good for Bubba Wallace to come back and get a top 10. I never thought it'd be at the Charlotte ROVAL, because this is definitely one of the hardest road courses or hardest tracks in NASCAR currently right now. But a nice solid 7th place finish for the number 45. Finishing in 8th was Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick really close to getting the win here today. Ends up getting an 8th place finish. Kind of fell a bit backwards because he was on older tires and because of the chaos that ensued in the last few laps. He was going at it dearly with AJ Allmendinger, and I'm pretty sure Reddick spun out Chase Elliott at one point, so I don't know if some Napa fans are happy with him right now. But 8th place finish overall for Tyler Reddick. 8th place. Coincidence? I don't think so. Oh, I thought the camera would zoom more. 8th place. Coincidence? I don't think so. It's not going to zoom. Whatever. Finishing in 9th was Chase Briscoe. What a wildness for Chase Briscoe and the number 14 team, because at one point when him and Corey LaJoie made some contact down the backstretch, it looked like his playoff hopes were starting to dwindle away, but he started to come back. I'm pretty sure he was also on fresh tires, just like Christopher Bell, and he was making his way through the field. It's just, you don't know how some of these road course races are going to end. It could just end just as crazy, just like that. And we did have a little bit of controversy that NASCAR put under review. I think they're still reviewing it. I'm not really sure. But apparently they're reviewing what Cole Custer did, blocking for his teammate when they're headed through the backstretch chicane so that Chase Chase Briscoe could hold position and advance and get that last spot into the round of 8, taking out Kyle Larson. We'll talk about Kyle Larson here in a second, but that's what happened. And then they said none of that would affect the round of 8. But this is also similar to the 2020 Martinsville thing, where Eric Jones, which that was his final year with Joe Gibbs Racing, was blocking for his teammate Denny Hamlin, so Hamlin could go into the championship race at Phoenix, and Jones was holding off some drivers so that no one else could advance their position, so Hamlin would be safe. So it's under review still. It won't have any effect, so Briscoe is still automatically locked in to the next round. But still, what a day, what a wild day for him. Can he move on to the championship 4? First playoff appearance is going to be pretty hard. Crazy to see Austin Dillon up here. Finishing in the 10th place spot was Austin Dillon. First top 10 since his win at Daytona. Pretty... not really crazy because he sucks. But anyway, crazy for Austin Dillon because he also had a little bit of an issue earlier in this race, because at one point he missed one of the corners, and when he went down to the front stretch, he did not come to a complete stop, because if you do cut a corner, you have to come to an absolute complete stop, and then you can get going again. For Austin Dillon, he just slowed down and then kept going and stuff. So he had to serve a penalty, but still was able to come back, because after all that craziness, able to get a top 10 finish. So good for Austin Dillon, good for the 3 team, so good finish for them. So now let's rate this race. Okay, I'm gonna admit, Chase Elliott said it in his post-race interview that it's just gonna get worse from here. It makes no sense. It is so ironic that we praise the next gen and its road course racing, because the road course racing for most of the tracks, I'd probably say maybe except Sonoma, has been pretty good, pretty stout. It's so weird how we go to the one track that we practice so much on the road course racing for the next gen test, and we race here in real life and it sucks. I mean, I'm not going to fully bash on Charlotte Roval, but this was definitely one of the worst road course races I've ever seen. Definitely one of the most boring, because stage 1, stage 2, really tame. I'm glad it was kind of tame, but I still want some excitement, at least. There was like little to no passing. It was just frustrating. And then it was so weird seeing like most of the playoff drivers who were like 20th on back trying to make their way up to the front just because they decided to stay out for stage points. It was just so weird, and yeah, definitely one of the worst road course race I've ever seen. I didn't watch the ending, but I heard it was crazy. And there we go again with the Russian roulette, the craziness. Like, literally, this is the second elimination race in a row where it ends in craziness. So don't be surprised, even though Martinsville most likely going to be lackluster. It may be a little bit better from the one in April, but don't be surprised if it's boring in the beginning, and then once we get to the end of the race, it's all hell broke loose, because that's how it is in these races. But it's not like craziness like in Bristol, because those were just like car issues. This was just drivers going at it and crap. But anyway, it was also almost like the Xfinity race yesterday. But anyway, I'm going to rate this race. For a road course race, probably one of the lowest scores I'm going to get it, or lowest ratings. I'm going to give it a... It wasn't terrible, but it still wasn't all that good. I was kind of bored, and I was just focusing on the NFL. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Just mid. It was mid. It was a mid-race. Most mid-race I've ever seen. Probably not. I got to think about that. But it was mid. Could have been better. Let's just go back to mile and a half, because I prefer those. For unlucky driver of the day, I'm going to give it to Daniel Suarez, because I know his teammate Chastain finished a position worse than him, but these two finished 36-37, so I might just say Trackhouse overall. But mainly Daniel Suarez, because fighting power steering issues, that's nothing of his own doing. His arms were hurting most likely throughout that, because you're having to work it and stuff. Because these cars have power steering. Cars that don't have power steering are like F1 and Indy cars. Because Jimmy Johnson, I've seen like a full video on his training for driving a car that has 0 power steering. You're literally having to work the thing. That must have hurt his wrists and stuff. And then he had an altercation with Corey LaJoie at the end. Him and him just went at it and stuff. I don't know if any punches were thrown. I saw they were talking after the race in like the garage area, but definitely does suck for Daniel Suarez and the 99 team. Just nothing he could do there. And now he's eliminated from the playoffs. But I'm still proud of Suarez. Made a good run all the way to the round of 12. Let's see what he could do better next year. For underdog driver of the day, I'm gonna give it to my boy Bubba Wallace. Like I said, spun out on lap 7, had to come into pit road after having a tire issue, or because he spun the tires, and that scraped off some of the rubber off the car, off the tire. So he definitely had to come in, and luckily was able to get a 7th place finish. And this is probably one of his best finishes on a road course. So that's what I see as a comeback and a really impressive day for the number 45 team. For underdog driver of the day, you got to give it to Justin Haley, because what a stout performance it was. This was not just luck because of what happened in the end. This guy was running up front in the top 5, top 10, top 15 all day long. So you got to give a nice pat on the back, or not pat on the back, a nice round of applause for my boy Justin Haley. Even though Christopher Bell won this race, he wasn't the most dominant car of the day and stuff. He had to work his way through with fresh tires and stuff. But I'm going to give it to Allmendinger. He was fighting his way through all day, trying to hold off, trying to get the win, his 3rd win in the Cup Series. Had to kind of move Chase Elliott out the way, made some contact with Kevin Harvick. Oh, actually, Harvick put Allmendinger in the grass a little bit. But a nice, impressive run for Allmendinger, in my opinion. Definitely one of the best cars of the day that could have won. So I'm going to say he was driver of the day. So here are the playoff standings coming out of the final race of the round of 12 at the ROVAL, and going into the first race of the round of 8 at Las Vegas next weekend. We have Chase Elliott on top, plus 31. Then you have Joey Logano in second, plus 11. I got these two mixed up. Chastain, plus 6 in third, and you have Christopher Bell plus 3 right above the cut line in that last championship spot. Then you have William Byron in 5th. Wait, is it William Byron in 5th? Did I get these wrong? No. William Byron is 5th. Yeah, William Byron in 5th, minus 3. Then you have Ryan Blaney in 6th, minus 3. Then you have Hamlin in 7th, minus 5. And then Chase Briscoe, dead last, minus 9. So the 4 drivers that were eliminated were Alex Bowman. Well, because he was injured the last 2 races, so automatic elimination right there. And even if Bowman raced this weekend, he had to win today, and I don't think he was going to win and stuff. Austin Cindric was also taken out of this race, taken out of the playoffs, because he kind of got spun out late in this race and just took him out of the points. And then Daniel Suarez had his issues, ended up finishing 36 today. And then Kyle Larson. What happened to Kyle Larson? Because he finished 35th. Did he have issues or something? But he is eliminated. The reigning series champ gets eliminated this early. This is reminiscent of 2020. Remember in 2020, Kyle Busch got eliminated in the round of 12, and he was the reigning series champ from 2019. So a big shocker right there for Kyle Larson. He even said in his post-race interview, he's just made too many mistakes this year. And I've seen some mistakes, but not really that much. It's just so weird because Kyle Larson, man, that's a shocker. That's a shocker. But Larson is also eliminated from the playoffs. So these are our last 4. So we'll see how the playoffs will go down in these next 3 weeks. Who's going to go to the championship 4 and who will be eliminated? Because right now, as we look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 8 playoff drivers are looking for their first ever championship. And I'm pretty sure only 3 of these playoff drivers are also in their first round of 8 appearances, and we only have 2 champions right now in this playoff, in the finishing order of this playoffs, with Chase Elliott and Logano on top. So it can end really crazy. We could even just have drivers who have not won a championship before all in the championship 4. It's a possibility because we only have 2 and there's 6, so we'll see. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to check out my gaming channel or my Instagram, links to both of those will be in the description below. Want to check out this channel even more, like, comment, share, subscribe, check out some other videos and stuff. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in and stuff. Should have my Las Vegas review up next week, so should be fun. Let's see how this round of 8 will end up and find out who our championship 4 will be in this next 3 weeks. But should be a fun round. 2 mile and a halves, 1 short track to decide who your championship 4 will be. So see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. This is NASCAR Mobile 48. Peace out.